Hello Galaxy, I'm Chris Pirillo and you're watching the Locker Room Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Tonight, I thought I would tell you how I plan on using my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Not many people will do that, necessarily. Like, they'll get it and then they'll forget about it, or they'll get it and they'll use it, and no one really talks about their specific use case because the iPhone could be used for 1,001 things. But I had a specific use case in mind when I thought about getting one, and in testing the scenario, it seems to work well enough, or certainly a solid upgrade from my iPhone 8 Plus, which I have been using live on Twitch. I'm broadcasting right now. This is being recorded live on my Twitch channel. I'm live every night at 6 p.m. You can join the community there, and you never know what's going to happen because I'm a variety streamer. And tonight, I'm actually going to show you something that you could do on your computer, whether it's a Mac or a PC, whether it's an iPhone or an Android device. You may have heard me talk about this before. If not, if you've watched any of the live streams, you've seen me use the product. Re-incubate Camo. You probably have a webcam connected to your computer, and it probably sucks. You may even have a webcam attached to your computer, an external camera, and it may be okay. But if you didn't know, you could use software on the Mac or Windows PC to effectively take your Android or iPhone or iOS device, not just iPhone, iOS in general, iPad as well, and turn it into a webcam and mount it as a webcam and use it as a camera. So that's exactly what I've been doing here. And so this is Re-incubate Camo. I'm going to go ahead and step everyone through the interface and show you all the different options. Right now, I'm zoomed in. This is the telephoto on the iPhone, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max has 3 lenses. I could also use the selfie camera, but I'm not going to go that far. And here, in Re-incubate Camo, I've got the registered version, which I recommend for everybody anyway. What you can do, and I'm going to grab my other... I'm going to grab my mouse because it's easier to do in this particular environment. Effectively, you can switch between devices, and I'm just using my iPhone. I could have another device connected, like an iPad or, like I said, an Android device, and flip between the devices within Re-incubate Camo. Right now, it's just in normal mode, but it also supports portrait mode in beta. And mind you, I'm running this on a Windows PC right now, my Intel Nook, and it runs beautifully. The lens, as it says right here, is telephoto, or 3x, but I could also flip between lenses. Like I said, the front, there's the ultra wide and the wide. Now, when I flip between lenses, the thing you got to keep in mind is that each lens is a different sensor, so it has to be calibrated differently. So I'll flip to, let's go to the wide, and so I'm going to go to a different preset, because you see I changed a bit, but I found that this preset is a little nicer to use when I flip between this view and this view. It's a little more seamless in terms of color, so I can change that preset more easily. I do have a few bits of feedback for the development team, of course, because it's not as easy to do this on the fly, especially if you're doing live production. You could even go through and change the resolution, not like you would want to. You push as many pixels as you possibly can. 1080p is more than suitable for most environments. Audio source, whether you're taking from the camera or the bottom, I don't really use the audio, so if my lips are out of sync with what it is that I'm saying, that could very well be the reason. And of course, the frame rate, I'm using 30 FPS. That's all I really need for a live stream, certainly. And then you could also set a watermark if you're interested. I don't necessarily need one. You can turn on the mirroring capability, so you can flip it. You could also rotate the video in various directions, or even zoom. This would be a digital zoom, a digital crop. Not as good to use as it would be to flip between the wide, ultra wide, or the telephoto. And then on the other side, you're adjusting things like light or image. So adjusting exposure, your shutter speed and ISO, white balance, tint. You can even turn on the flash, or the torch, as they say in the UK. And then image adjustments, setting brightness, hue, saturation, contrast, gamma, sharpness. And so you can find the right settings for you. You can match it to anything. You could use this as your camera. So if you're looking into live streaming, but your camera sucks, stop using your webcam. Start using the device you already have, because you probably already have a smartphone. Connect it to your computer use something like Reincubate Camo. If it's not this product, there are probably alternatives, but this is, as far as I could see and tell from all the research I did, the most supported, and it's constantly adding features, and it works exceedingly well. It gets updates on a regular basis, and it works. And that's the bottom line for me, especially because I plan on using the iPhone as a webcam. I know it's... What? Why would you use it? Because look at this image quality, and I'm not saying that the image quality coming out of the iPhone in that way matches the image quality... Oh, wait, sorry. I went the wrong direction. This is what it looks like natively. So right here, there's the screencast, but when I flip to the iPhone view, this is what it is full frame, right? But this is a desktop screen capture. I meant to flip over here. This is why I don't do a lot of flipping back and forth on my own, even though I know I could, set up a gadget and do keyboard shortcuts and stuff. I try to keep things lean, mean, and clean as far as everything's concerned. Let me go ahead, for argument's sake, and flip over to the ultra-wide and just show you what kind of field of view we have. I also need to adjust the color a bit. I haven't got this one exactly the way I want, but being able to go back and forth between this view and this view is nice. So you can see everything. Like, you can see the water, the microphone. What else can you see here? The keyboard, the monitor. You're seeing the back of the monitor here. Everything. It's a very wide angle view. Now, why would I use this particular view in this environment? I'm not sure I'm inclined to use the ultra wide here. Personally, I'm going to be likely using either the wide or specifically the telephoto, because I feel like it's more to the production that it is that I'd want to put together for everybody. So that's my use case, and I realize I could connect another camera to it, but I like having, believe it or not, an iOS device. If only for testing purposes, if only to see how things are working, because at some point in the future, I'm going to get a new smartphone, and people are going to say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I'm going to have to compare it to the latest flagship iPhone, so I figure I might as well use it for something, and I use this every day. Even though I don't necessarily have it, I'm saying I use the iPhone every day, but not as a phone! It's really funny. Sorry, I'm checking the time to make sure I'm staying within the limitations that I wanted to. Normally, when I'm using this camera, by the way, it's not for my face. It is specifically for the desk, and so I have it pointed down, so when I'm building a Lego set, or if I'm going through some 3D printing, cleaning things off 3D printing, that's usually tilted down, so it's on like an arm, like a coiled arm that's hanging off my hutch, and I can adjust it. I'm not going to do that right now because it'd be a bit jarring and everything would vibrate. Let me just go ahead and show you. This is the normal lens, normal view. It's dark over there, but you can see bokeh. That's a nice bokeh effect. There's not much light coming from back there, but you can see my face is blurred out. I could also put it over here, but there's not as much light. And just for a comparison's sake, it's a bit different from a dedicated camera, right? I can get a little closer on the dedicated camera for the most part. Focus is that. I mean, there's a difference. It's not meant to be like a full-on replacement, but dude, if you've already got the hardware, you might as well use it for something, apart from the things you're not using it for. So thank you for asking me what I use. Thank you for giving me the time that you've given me, punching in on my face just a little bit more to show you. This is what we do every night. We Tuscan raid people on Twitch. We love doing that. We raid other streamers. Maybe you like this view better than you like the other view. How am I supposed to know? You got to tell me. You got to give me feedback. You got to tell me what you think. And even if you don't tell me what you think, well, I'm going to tell you what I think, because that's exactly what I do every single day. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you for telling me what it is you would like me to talk about. Thank you for joining the community, and simply following and commenting on YouTube is not joining the community. That's very passive, but I appreciate it. I would love to be more interactive with you. It's one of the reasons I'm more of a variety streamer. I always was, even back in the days of live.pirillo.com. So if you want to see me using the thing that I just demonstrated every day, head over to Twitch. The link, of course, is in the video description. Very happy to have you there, and I love you. I appreciate you. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.